What's going on, YouTube? It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, and it's been forever since I've done a UFC preview. So let's get right into it. This weekend, we've got UFC Fight Night, Blanchfield versus Barber. This one, I will be honest, didn't know much about the card, and we're going into it fresh and quick, right with you guys here on YouTube. So let's get right into it. We're going to go over the main card only. We're going to go over the fights, we're going to go over the odds, and then I'm going to make a pick for each of the main card fights. There are 11 fights on the card total. It's featured on ESPN Plus, and the fight card looks like so. ESPN Plus, it's in Las Vegas, 11 fights on the card, and as I said, didn't know a ton about it going into it, but a few canceled and fizzled fights, as that says. Going through the fight card, not a ton that I see on the preliminary card that I'm super excited about. This one, Markel Medeiros, interesting fight because coming into the contest at 10-1. Obviously, Jordan Levitt, Kurt Hollabaugh should be a very fun fight. And then we're moving up to the main card, which we're going to go over here in just a second. Actually, right now. We will hit right into it. First fight, we're going to touch on Zach Savage Reese against Duško Todorović, the Thunder. These guys, middleweights, professional record for Reese 8-2, Todorović 12-5. The Serbian coming off of a 2-fight losing skid and hasn't fought since 2024. With Reese, 1-fight losing skid, and his last fight was in 2025. Reese is a minus 285 favorite. They say moderate favorite. Minus 285 is pretty big on most betting scorecards. Reese comes into this one again 8-2, 12-5. 1-fight losing skid 4 months ago. He got beat by TKO, ground and pound against Azamat Bekov. And then this Todorović, Mansur Abdul Malik by knockout 6 months ago. And prior to that, Christian Leroy Duncan, knee injury 2 years ago, 2 months. So he has been fairly inactive over the past year. And if we're looking at the odds, again, minus 285 favorite for Reese. And fight predictions over on Tapology, 2,138 fight picks. And Reese at a 90% favorite over here. Looking at this, is expected to win by knockout. Not so sure that that's going to be the case. As we did see in Todorović's last 2 fights, they were TKOs. That could be the case. But I see this one going to the judges' scorecard. So if we're looking at Zach Reese against Duško Todorović, I'm picking this one, Zach Reese, by decision. He does definitely have a puncher's chance. We've seen Thunder get finished in his last 2 fights, but I think that it's going to be Reese via decision. Ketlen Vieira against Macy Chiasson. Vieira 14-4, Chiasson 10-3. Chiasson 2-fight winning streak. Mayra Bueno Silva, she beat her by doctor stoppage cut 10 months ago. And Pani Klanzad via submission rear naked choke. Again, sort of on the shelf, hasn't fought since 2024, 10 months ago. And Vieira, a loss in her last fight to Kayla Harrison. No joke there, obviously. That one is not a joke by any means, and it wasn't. It was a unanimous decision to Kayla Harrison. And Kayla is known for her submissions. She's known for her top control and her domination on top. But Vieira was able to withstand that and get the loss via decision. She didn't get stopped. She didn't get finished. She didn't any of that kind of stuff. Harrison was able to take her to the judges' scorecards and get the finish. So Vieira is a slight favorite in this one at minus 125. Chiasson is a plus 100. If we're looking at the height, 5'8" to 5'11", a 68-inch reach, 72-inch reach. And if we look at the Tapology community picks, 2,075 picks, actually have Chiasson being a 65% favorite to win this one by decision. I'm going to go against the grain. Vieira has had the tougher opponents over the past. She's been a little more active, I believe. and I'm going to take her by decision. We're not going to say she gets the finish here because Chiasson is very difficult to finish. Yes, she's on a losing skid, one fight, but I do think she's going to pick up the unanimous decision in this fight. Moving along, we got Dustin Jacoby, the Haynek, against Bruno Lopes. Jacoby 29-1. Lopes 14-1. Lopes is on a 3-fight winning streak. Marcos Brigaggio, arm triangle victory at LFA. Then on Contender Series, he earned his shot at the UFC with punches to the body against Mikel Sazininiani. I definitely butchered that one. And then in his Octagon debut, he got a decision victory against a guy who I am not going to even attempt to say that name. So he's on a 3-fight winning streak. Jacoby is coming into this one, beating Vitor Petrino with a right cross. 5 months ago he fought, and Jacoby looked good. Jacoby obviously has a great stand-up game. His kickboxing game is on point. We look at the odds. Jacoby is a -155 slight favorite, with Lopes a +125 underdog. The height is nearly identical at 6'3" to 6'2", and Jacoby holds a 2-inch reach advantage in this fight. If we are looking at the odds, 2,000 or the fight picks over on Tapology, 2,188 people have made their predictions. Jacoby a 69% favorite. If we look at the last loss for Lopes, it was on a Contender Series as well, and it was against Brenson Ribeiro. It was a knockout or a TKO with a right cross. Jacoby definitely has the puncher's shot in this fight. And if I'm going to go out on a limb, I'm going to take Jacoby by 2nd or 3rd round stoppage. Whether it's done on the feet or whether it's done on the ground, I know Jacoby has the skills in the stand-up game. Like I said, his kickboxing is tremendous. Whether he lands a nice head kick, whether he lands a clean combination, I think he gets the job done within the distance, and I'm picking Jacoby by late stoppage. Moving right along, we got welterweights. Ramiz Brahimaj against Billy Goff. Welterweights in this one, Brahimaj is 11-5. Goff is 9-3. Brahimaj is coming off a victory in his last outing against Mickey Gall 6 months ago. Right hook, TKO. Mickey Gall, known for his grappling. On the feet, Brahimaj had the job done and got the victory in that fight. Last fight in 2024. And Goff last fought in 2024 as well, a year ago, where he lost a unanimous decision to Trey Waters. Brahimaj is a +270 underdog, whereas Goff is a -340 favorite. These two are 5'10", both of them, and both very nearly identical in terms of reach. 73-inch reach for Brahimaj, and Goff has a 72.5-inch reach. We're going down to the predictions over on Tapology, 681. Not many people picking this fight, but they have Goff winning by TKO or knockout at 83%. He is a moderate favorite in this one. He has a great fighting style. This one should stay on the feet and could end within the distance. But I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to go with the underdog. I'm going to go Brahimaj via TKO within the distance. I will not pick around, but I'm going to go Ramiz Brahimaj via TKO or stoppage by punches or kicks or ground and pound within the distance. If I get this one, this is my underdog pick of the night. Up next, we got the co-main event, Mateusz Gamrot Gamer against Ľudovít Klein, Mr. Highlight. Klein is on a 4-fight winning streak. Pretty impressive. He defeated Ignacio Bahamondes via unanimous decision a year ago, almost 2 years ago. AJ Cunningham, front body kick a year and 2 months ago. Thiago Moises via unanimous decision 11 months ago. And then most recently, Roosevelt Roberts via unanimous decision 7 months ago. Gamrot is coming off of a loss in his last fight against Dan Hooker, a split decision loss. And these two, Gamrot 24-3, Klein is 23-4-1. Gamrot the -140 slight favorite, with Klein being a +120 underdog. which is near even. Gamrot, a 5'10" fighter. Klein is a 5'7" fighter, which is interesting because Klein has a 72.5-inch reach, whereas Gamrot, the stockier fighter, has a 70.5-inch reach. Now, if we go down to the community picks, this one was a big one, 2,107 picks, have Gamrot winning 76% via decision. And if Klein wins, he's got a 24% chance via decision as well. Will we see this guy go on a 5-fight winning streak, or will we see Gamrot get the job done and get back inside the win column? His last loss, again, was against a very top-notch opponent. This is a big step up in opponent for Klein over the course of his career. But you know what? I'm going to go with the underdog again in this one. It's not as big an underdog as the last fight, but the plus 120 is tickling my fancy, and I'm going to go Ľudovít Klein via unanimous decision. Let's move on over to the main event. Erin Blanchfield versus Maycee Barber. Very interesting fight in the flyweight division. I believe number 4 ranked and number 3 ranked. 13-2 for Blanchfield, 14-2 for Barber. Blanchfield a minus 175 slight favorite, with Barber a plus 140 underdog. 5'4" for Blanchfield, 5'5" for Barber, 68-inch reach for Blanchfield, and 65-inch reach for Barber. If we go down to the odds or the Tapology community picks, 2,069 picks have Blanchfield via decision, likely beating her by a wet blanket, and Barber is expected at 24% picks, also by decision. Barber is on a 5-fight winning streak here. She beat Montana De La Rosa by decision 3 years ago. Jessica Ai by decision 2 years ago, almost 3 years ago. Andrea Lee by split decision 2 years ago. Amanda Hebes via TKO ground and pound a year and 11 months ago. And then her most recent fight, Ketlen Serminera, a year and 2 months ago via decision. 4-1 in her last 5 fights. Blanchfield, she's coming off a victory to Rose Namajunas by unanimous decision. Dominating performance in that one where she utilized wrestling and whatnot. Prior to that, a loss to Manon Fior. And if I'm picking this one, I'm not completely sure, if I'm being absolutely honest. I want to go over to an article on MMAfighting.com, which is from Erin Blanchfield, and she admits her concerns. There's the title, over whether or not Maycee Barber actually fights at UFC Vegas 107. She said to MMA Fighting, yeah, a little bit of worry, because Macy is someone that has pulled out of fights pretty frequently. She has a history of that. There's always a worry, but that could happen with anyone at the same time. A lot of the other top flyweights were already booked because they were booked at UFC 315. I think it just made sense, and so far she's still in the fight, so hopefully it stays that way. So looking at this one, Blanchfield's already questioning if Barber will get in there. Barber's on a 5-fight winning streak. She's a slight underdog. Again, the Tapology community picks have Blanchfield as a pretty big picks favorite. But again, 3 fights in a row, I'm going to go with the underdog. Slight underdog at plus 140, Maycee Barber. The future is going to stay the future. She might be the present, and she will get the job done via unanimous decision. There you have it, folks. My UFC Blanchfield versus Barber fight picks, predictions, analysis, whatever the heck you want to call it. That's what I'm doing. You listen to it here. It was a fun video to film. Haven't done it in a while. So let me know your fight picks in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, do all that other jazz on the MMA Sucka YouTube channel. Make sure you check out MMA Sucka on all social media platforms, at MMA Sucka on X, at MMA_Sucka on Instagram. Make sure you follow me on X at JeremyBrand604, and make sure you check out Slappies, the best vodka soda in town, at Drink Slappies on Instagram. Peace.